people had to say. So we finished the semi-finals. From the semi-finals, we had Anand College and Lyceum International School qualifying. We had Kingswood performed really well. Some of the schools that performed really well, I have to say there were certain speakers who really came out. For example, Sachit Vijayasekar from Kingswood was the best speaker 4 times running. We had from Muslim Ladies College a girl called Afra Niaz, who was the best speaker thrice, and she got a sort of hat trick because she got it one after the other. Okay. And then we had so many speakers who really came out, and some of them had never debated before. So that was great. And some of the things that we heard from the schools was, for example, British school told us that they had started debating because of the debater.
They never had a debating team before.
They didn't have a debating. Yes, it was great. So
you've encouraged the school to set up a debating team, and the debater has done that. So I think that's amazing.
Yes, it is, because MTV actually having an educational program like this where you give the opportunity for these children to really show their talent on TV and to talk and to basically exchange their ideas on pertinent issues, because when you say a younger person, especially a teenager, what you understand is someone who, there are lots of stereotypes these days, but these kids, I think, have really broken that stereotype, and they have shown that it's not just, they're just not, because there is a stereotype of younger people being more materialistic, but they've really broken that, and they've shown that they have great intellectual capacity, they have great promise, they can really go out there and be leaders, and so we're really excited to see what happens in the finals.
Okay, so we've got lots more to talk about the debater on MTV Sports, but right now let's take a look at a team, one of the teams who will be competing, who will be battling it out tomorrow evening, Anand College. So let's have a look at this. Look at that enthusiasm, look at that courage, that confidence. Well, if you want to see more, tomorrow is the day. Tune in at 6 p.m. to MTV Sports to witness the grand finale of the debater. That was just one team that you saw, and yes, we'll be focusing more on the next team in a little while, but I've got more to ask my dear friend over here, Sam. We've been talking about the format of the show. We've been talking about how MTV Sports started it, but MTV Sports was not the first to start it. It originated from a different manner. So let's talk about the origins of the debater.
Okay, to start off with the origins, Sirasa TV started off the debater. They're the ones who basically, they were the architects of the format. They formulated the entire sort of, there's a lot of work that went behind the scenes for it, because the entire procedure from the format to the marking scheme to the music even has been created originally for the debater, especially the one on Sirasa. So this is an original product of our country, so that's great. Even as a media institution, I think this is something that we can really be proud of, because this is being created by us for like the student population, so that's great. Talking about the format, there's something very interesting happening today. In a couple of hours, the two teams are going to come to the studio and they're going to exchange their reference material. So this is something that we've just introduced for the finals. So what we're going to do here is they exchange their reference material with each other. It's just like what happens in an actual courtroom. We want them to have a really good argument, because what we've realized is sometimes when they're completely unaware of the arguments that are being brought out by the other team, the opportunities they have of bringing counter arguments or like basically having a very intelligent debate are diminished. So we want to give them enough time, like we're giving them over 24 hours of time window to go through the other team's reference material. So they're going to go through the reference material and come back on the final. So hopefully it will really be a very intellectual and it will be a really exciting debate. So they're going to be here in a couple of hours. They're not too excited, I think, about exchanging the reference material. They have mixed feelings about it.
Well, they have no choice.
Yes, they have no choice, but then I think it's a good thing. I think personally that
and
it's a good
fair
thing.
And square.
Exactly, that's what's most important. It's fair and square. So they're going to be here in a couple of hours. We will be verifying their documents, checking it, tabling everything, and then exchanging it. So we're really excited, and yeah, hopefully it will be a good tactic and the kids will be able to sort of go through everything and make really sound arguments about this topic.
Oh, absolutely. And also today's episode will take a closer look at some of the participants of the debating teams. Right now we're going to have a look at the first participant.
To debate is to engage in an all-out war where the smartest will survive.
The finals of the Debater on the 24th of January at 6 p.m.
Litmaja was a captain of the Ananda College debating team. Let's talk about him. Let's talk about how he has grown over the couple of months, and how do you see him as a producer?
Litmal has really developed a lot. He's actually a very prolific speaker, I think, even outside of the MTV debater format, because from what I've heard from the students, I think the Ananda College team also takes part in the parliamentary debates, and Litmal has sort of made a mark for himself there as well. So they're all the students, actually, I must say, from Ananda and Lyceum, are ones that sort of they don't just limit themselves to one thing, their academics or their sports. They really sort of they're very outgoing students. They're good role models. They're leaders in school. So they're wonderful people to have on a show, and they're wonderful people to get to know as well. So it's been really interesting. Litmal is a good example of that. There's some more kids in that team that's great. There's Binurat, there's Kihan, there's Oshada, there's Sandaru. All of them have improved so much. I think also it helps when you go back and you watch yourself, because like when we normally debated, you never saw what you did really. You just saw people's expressions, and their expressions would just change, and you're thinking, oh, I said something that was really didn't make much sense. But when you see yourself on TV, you see all the mistakes you do as well, so you really can improve, you really can make a difference. And because they can see that stuff online, they can basically get a lot of feedback from a huge audience. So there's been rapid progress, so that's been great.
Okay, I was actually watching the last Saturday's episode, and that is where you showed how the topic was revealed to the two teams, and I remember I would say the tactic that was used by the Anandians was interesting, and that's something I want to talk about. But before that, let's have a look at another team member from Ananda College.
Little piece of advice for the worst case scenario you'd face in the debate. If you can't convince them,
The finals of the Debater, 24th of January at 6 p.m.
Alright, so that was of course Binura Gunasekara, who I hear is also a Wushu champion.
Yes, he's apparently a national level Wushu player, so they're all very well accomplished.
Okay, so let's talk about how the topic was revealed on the debate, the topic for the grand finale, and that was an interesting episode, so if you could speak a few words on that.
Basically what we did with the topic was we decided that we're not just going to give them the finals topic, because it was the finals topic, right? So we went through so many topics, and we decided on one topic which was fair on both sides. So what we did was we called the kids in, we called both the teams in with the teachers in charge. We asked them to bring their laptops with the facilities of the internet, of browsing the internet, and then we revealed the topic to them, both the proposition and the opposition side of the topic, and then we told them that they have a 20-minute window of time to research the topic online. So basically they have the topic, they don't know whether they're the proposition or the opposition because the toss hasn't been done yet. They have time to research the topic. So it was really interesting because the kids were like, okay, now is this side, is the proposition more advantageous, is the opposition more advantageous, how does it go, what do we pick? And we tried to be as fair as possible when it came to a topic, because it's a finals topic and it has to be 50-50. And then when the time was over, we actually asked them about whether they wanted to be the proposition or the opposition. Lyceum was under the impression that it was a fair topic. They said, actually both the teams said it was a fair topic. And what was interesting also, I have to just add here that this is a topic that is currently in discussion, and it's also something that's very relevant to the younger generation, is very relevant to everyone, I think, especially people who are aware of the world and who are involved with anything basically. But this is not something that is very often spoken about, so, and this is a very fair, very neutral topic as well. So they were very excited about that aspect because it has a lot of grounds for argument. and since it's a current topic, it's something that is under discussion right now. There's a lot of material to be taken as well. So basically, when we asked the kids, Lyceum said that they didn't mind anything, and Ananda said they wanted to be the opposition. But when we did the toss, Lyceum picked the opposition, and Ananda was very excited that it was that they got the opposition.
Excited that they lost the toss.
Exactly, they were really excited that they lost the toss, and Lyceum picked the opposition side. But then when we had the interviews later, the Anandians revealed that it was a tactic, and that they actually wanted to be the proposition because they believed it was actually more it was more advantageous. But we'll see on the tomorrow.
And tomorrow is the day to find out if that tactic actually is going to help them out or not. And right now we are going to go into another commercial break. We've been talking about Ananda, and when we come back, we're going to take a closer look at the other team, Lyceum International. So stay tuned.